Why do you think that he's latched on to diversity so much?
Oh, he's a bigot, so. It's a belief that there's a hierarchy of racial groups and that his group is superior, genetically superior. He believes that.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists.
What are you even talking about?
This video is brought to you by SHINERGYLife.com. SHINERGYLife.com, ladies and gentlemen, is finally here. We have the day drink and the night drink officially at the headquarters, ready to be shipped out. So everybody that pre-ordered, you're going to get yours soon. And for those who haven't ordered, you better get it now because it's going to sell out like nobody's business. So make sure you go to SHINERGYLife.com, SHINERGYLife.com, and get your supplements today. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get it in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last video of the day. Donald Trump should absolutely sue the socks off John Legend. I'm just saying, he should sue John Legend. These people can't get away with just defaming somebody's character. You could be a public official and somebody can have an opinion, but there's a difference between opinion and defamation. Like, to say that the stuff that John Legend has said about Donald Trump is flat out defamation is wrong. It's a lie. And I don't know why the people of the melanin feel the need that they need to be disingenuous about Donald Trump. Many of these people loved him. Many of these people supported him. Many of these people had nothing bad to say about the man. And then he became a Republican. All of a sudden, they drinking the Kool-Aid with Trump's derangement syndrome. But I'm going to let you listen to the clip. Don't believe me. Listen to what John Legend said, which is absolutely insane. And I'm going to debunk everything he said. Roll the clip.
America made a decision that I strongly disagree with. And it seems that we are reaping the whirlwind right now, putting someone who is a terrible leader, especially in crisis. He's already out blaming people, misinforming people, dividing people, when a smart and responsible and good political way to handle it would have been to bring people together.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you want.
Be a comforter in chief, you know?
Why do you think that he's latched on to diversity so much?
Oh, he's a bigot, so. It's a belief that there's a hierarchy of racial groups and that his group is superior, genetically superior. He believes that.
Right.
Whenever he talks about competence and qualifications, any white man will do for him. Look at the last guy who was Secretary of Defense. He was a 4-star general, supremely qualified black man. And then see who he puts in after him. That's the level of bigotry that he has. Any white man is better than that.
And it's funny that he says this because I have a highlight tape of Donald Trump debunking racist people, debunking, what's his name? The guy that, and I don't even remember his name now, the guy that was a racist white supremacist, David Duke or somebody. Donald Trump has denounced that dude 100,000 times. Donald Trump has always been against racists. I don't know Donald Trump to support any racist. Let's play that clip real quick so we can just put this to bed. Roll the clip.
David Duke just joined. A bigot, a racist, a problem.
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure.
David Duke and robocalls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay?
When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavowed David Duke. So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
And you don't want the supporters?
No, I don't want anything.
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
David Duke announced his Senate candidacy, claiming your agenda.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy no matter what it takes.
And I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuked.
Done.
Done.
Do you want white supremacists to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all.
His campaign is denouncing a show of support from the KKK's official newspaper, as in the Ku Klux Klan.
In the same New York Times interview, he denounced white supremacists. He denounced the neo-Nazis who support him.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and the KKK.
President Donald Trump signed a congressional joint resolution that condemns white supremacy, neo-Nazis, and other hate groups.
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. Any group of hate, I don't like it. Any group of hate, I am, whether it's white supremacy, whether it's any other kind of supremacy, whether it's Antifa, whether it's any group of hate, I am very concerned about it, and I'll do something about it.
Watching that clip, you've seen Donald Trump debunk. You see John Legend say these things he's saying. Where is John Legend's proof? Let me just give you a quick example. Donald Trump with the First Step Act. Then I wrote it down here so I don't forget nothing. Record low unemployment amongst blacks in 2018. If he was still the president all the way through to now, and he didn't, deviate in 2020, we know what happened in 2020. He would have had the numbers soaring. If they didn't have the pandemic, he would be killing it amongst black people. Opportunity zones, which is obviously tax breaks for investments in the poor neighborhoods, including the black community. And then also HBCUs, included permanent funding to HBCUs, incentivizing HBCUs, and also bringing the conversation of HBCU needs to the forefront. He had every president of HBCUs or each HBCU in the White House to have this conversation, but he's a racist. This dude got more black support than any Republican in history. He literally doubled his support amongst black men from 2020 to 2025. Well, how is this man a racist? Let me go. I got a couple quotes of John Legend saying some things about Donald Trump that is completely asinine. And then we got a clip of Scott Jennings whooping head, but we already know how Scott Jennings works. You better stay around for that clip. But I'm just going to read a couple things that John Legend has said about Donald Trump that I think he could sue him over. One that says he's a bigot. It's a belief that there's a hierarchy of racial groups and that his group is superior, genetically superior. He's talking about white folks. Like Donald Trump is saying white people. Literally, Ben Carson was in his cabinet. I mean, literally. He don't have no problem with Clarence Thomas, does he? Does he? Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas? He had but he's I guess these people don't count. And then it says, whenever he talks about competence and qualifications, any white man will do for him. Any white man to do for him. He just pick anybody. Donald Trump trashes so many white liberals every single day of the week that you would think he was a racist against white people. He can't stand Nancy Pelosi and none of these crazy deranged white folks. White people hate him. He go after white people all the time. They act like it's just black folks. Let's get another one. Donald Trump is racist at his core. Our president is a flaming racist. He's a piece of you-know-what. Nobody eats cats. Nobody eats dogs. We all just want to live and flourish and raise our families in a healthy and safe environment. He was talking about the Haitian people.
But, I just be confused when people say Trump is a racist only because before he ran for office, I never heard nobody call him a racist. People call him an ass.
But he's saying racist stuff now.
But what's racist stuff that he's saying?
The Haitian cat stuff?
What's racist about that?
Well, you Haitians are
prejudice.
eating cats?
Yeah, Haitians are eating cats.
Or that when he was like a landlord owning all these places, he was very discriminatory against black residents.
I'm discriminatory against black residents in certain buildings. I don't want certain living in my building.
As long as you say it with
if
the
I
chest.
go home tomorrow and I see 17 in the lobby with do-rags on, I'm talking to management like, who is these niggas? I'm from the hood. I don't want to see them in my building.
Keep the
You worked hard to leave?
I worked hard to get away from these. I'm not on him, I love him, but it's like I don't want to go to sleep and hear these in my lobby either. Though. But we don't want to be honest because we feel like, oh, you know, Trump is racist. No, he's not. A racist man is not going to let Jennifer Hudson and her family stay in his building after her family was killed. A racist man is not going to send the jet to pick up Nelson Mandela in Africa once he was free from prison. A racist white man. Why is he doing that if he's racist?
Bro, Haitians in Haiti, they eat animals. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with them eating animals because it's food. When you hungry and you got a duck or something walking down the street, a cat, a dog, and your stomach growling, you gonna eat it. I don't care who you are. Just so happen that we don't starve in America. We're not like Haiti, unfortunately. Or fortunately for us, unfortunately for them. And it says, that takes us back to Hitler. That takes us back to eugenics. It takes us back to folks who believe that there is genetic hierarchies that's racially determinant. Let me just add this too. He don't have nothing. John Legend don't have nothing to say or nothing negative to say about Planned Parenthood. And Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist. He has nothing bad to say about the Democrat Party, the party of KKK and all this other stuff. He don't never talk about the party and the wrongs that they've done to black people historically. Because John Legend's an idiot, that's why he don't do it. But I'm just pointing it out to you guys. So if you ever thought he made any sense, he's a dummy. Now let's go to Scott Jennings whooping these people like a bad stepchild on CNN. Wrote a clip.
It's about making sure that there is white supremacy in this country. And if we're honest, we will say that. It is about making sure we will make sure that people who DEI is really all these code words. You used to use woke. I asked you to define what woke meant. You couldn't really define it for me. Tell me what it means again.
Woke ideology is taking extreme views of American culture and trying to tear down America from the inside out and go outside of our cultural norms and invade every corporation, university, and other institutions.
What is DEI?
That's incorrect.
Tell me that's incorrect. But what is DEI? Tell me again.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion, and trying to guarantee outcomes instead of guarantee opportunity.
Trump's cabinet looks like DEI.
I was speaking, and I do want us to not get off the rails because
she just said we're all white supremacists. We got to address this, don't we?
Saying a whole swath of voters and saying they voted because they're racist or misogynist, not
I didn't
because
say
their
those were my
pocketbook.
words, yours, but go ahead.
Okay, but
you said it was about white supremacy.
I said it was about white
Democrats will
supremacy.
keep losing if they do that.
All the voters were white supremacists, but it's not about eggs. She said it was about pocketbook issues. It's not about pocketbook issues.
You don't think people were at all motivated by the state of the economy?
Of course they were. Absolutely. But yes, and you're smart enough to know yes, and yes, they were upset about pocketbook issues, and they're also upset about what people are.
They do have an opportunity, but we're treated to sort of similar comments to what Kerry made tonight about race, white supremacy, all of Trump's ideology and people and voters and everything. It's all about white supremacy. This was rejected in the election. Democrats ran this was the animating thing of the Harris campaign, and it was rejected.
What?
And I am constantly shocked at what you're not aware of, which is Donald Trump's performance.
I'm constantly shocked at what you're not aware of.
Well, I don't know. I tend to be more right about it than you are. But the reality is he did better. He did better among minority voters than any Republican in a half a century.
Yeah,
and I seem to be totally unaware of it.
But it's also true.
But if you're going to come out and call half the country a white supremacist, I think you've got to explain it.
I didn't say the country. I said this was about white supremacy because what he ran on was making America great again, which is another code word. You like to say woke.
But you're saying the election was about white supremacy.
I'm saying what Trump was about was making sure that he stays back.
It's not even.
And again, like I always say, why is it the melanated people that are on the show saying the most ridiculous stuff? That black lady that's on that show, I forget her name now, but she is absolutely ridiculous. She is absolutely saying that MAGA and Trump supporters are doing this to advance or because of white supremacy. How did this man double in black support? But it's white supremacy. What she's really saying, but she's trying to say it without saying it, it's like the same people that support Hamas or support Palestine, they actually support Hamas. It's like once you start digging through the onion layers, you realize, oh, you just support Hamas. Same thing with these folks. You just think every white person is racist. Don't give me that crap of, you think every white person is a racist. You think every white person is pushing white supremacy. You think everything white people do is got to be bad and negative against black people. And I can go down the list of how that's a fraud. That's a fraudulent statement, but that's exactly what she's saying. He go, well, you saying half of the country's racist. No, I'm not. But they're voting for him for white supremacy. So all the Mexican people that voted for Trump, all the black people that voted for Trump, all the Asian people that voted for Trump are voting to advance white supremacy. What are you even talking about? But we don't pay these people to think. We pay these people to lie. So comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.